Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome to yet another episode on Little Slaw YouTube channel. So far, in our previous videos, we saw about counter, list, file, random integer, random string, constant string, password, date, current date. So even we saw about what is the difference between the date and the current date in our previous video. If you have not watched it, please do subscribe to our channel and check the playlist for the variable manager, the NeoLoad variable manager and performance engineering activities. So today we are going to see about the random UUID. So what is the UUID? Let's see what are all the options we have and what is the difference between this. First, try substituting this variable and let's try how does this work. Let's see how does it work. So I'm giving the random UUID variable here and let's see how many iterations we have. So we have 3 iterations and let's start execution and let's see how does it work. So here we can see the values in a format which comes with a combination of small letters of string and integers, so characters and integers in a combined or a combination format. So this format is not an editable one, so whatever that comes as a unique uniform identifier value, so there is no chance of editing it, so we can't increase or we cannot decrease the character length. Say for example, for the other parameters like random integer, we have a maximum value and a minimum value, or a random string where we can set the minimum length to the maximum length. But for the random ID, we don't have those options of setting it, because when we were able to set something like that, then automatically it falls under either random integer or a combination of a random string. So to avoid that, so here it comes as a it's a universal unique identifier. So that, and that too comes in a random fashion. But there is one option we have, that is which is an advantage of having the value change policy. So this actually changes the value on each use or on each request or on each page, on each iteration. So this is a value added to it, and we can see that there is an option to generate uppercase UUID. So initially we could see that the values have, every values have come in small characters. So let's make the change and let's see how does it work. So here we can see that every variable that we have parameterized have come in the upper case. So that is the advantage of using this. But again, there is a limitation, because if you remember that for the other variables where we can bring in an uppercase and a lowercase letter, but here when it comes to this unique identifier value, so here either we can choose small case or it can be uppercase, so it can be lowercase or it can be either uppercase. So there is no a mix of variables. And then we have this predictable randomization as an advantage of adding it. So if you remember that we have this predictable randomization in the random or in the random integer, so we have that option, and in random string we have that option. So any random variables we have in NeoLoad that comes with the random randomization, that is predictable randomization. So here I have again chosen the predictable randomization, and let's see what comes in and how does the prediction works here. So here when we turn on this predictable randomization, so automatically we can see here that the same, almost same value, or the same value has come in all the iterations. So that is how the predictable randomization works here. So I think we have discussed every area of this. So we have almost see about what are all the common factors which we have with the other random variables. So we have this predictable randomization here, and we have this value change policies in here. So these are the common thing, but the only different factor that we see here is we have the option of choosing the values or the variables in uppercase, but in random string we don't have that option, or in random product, which is random integer, again we are not supposed to give any. There are no upper cases or lower cases, but in random string, again there is no option to give the value as uppercase. Even we have discussed the same during the random string variable video, that any value that we give in will come as the lowercase values. But when it comes to random universal unique identifier variable, we have the option to to parameterize or to pass them as either the lowercase or either it's the uppercase. We don't have option to have a mix of them, so we have to choose whether it has to be either the lowercase or it has to be either the uppercase. So with that we come to an end, and I believe this video would have been very, very useful to you. So until we meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.